Hello, Gary Simon here of DesignCourse.com. Today we're going to do our final mock-up in Photoshop, and that's going to be the actual interface where a person is logged in and they can see potential matches for bartering. Alright, so if you haven't yet, check out DesignCourse.com and subscribe here on YouTube.
Okay, so let's go ahead and open up basically any of the actual, where am I at here? Yeah, home step 1. So the first mock-up that we made, we can open that up, and what we want to do is save this as a new document, and we'll call this, we'll just call this log in home, like as in logged in, and this is going to be the first page I see. Not this, but you know, what we're about to design. So basically, we're going to have 3 links over here for the menu. It's going to be edit my barter, my account, and then log out. So we don't want to center align this logo anymore. We'll left align it. So we'll go ahead and get our grid out with the move tool. You can deselect, auto select as long as, well, let's see here. 1 second. Oh yeah. We'll go ahead and click this icon here to lock that so we can't move it rather, or select it. So if we click on here, we'll have layer 1, should rename that to logo. We'll move that over right there. Okay, and then at the top here, let me go ahead and hide the grid temporarily, and we'll go ahead and put my account and then put a few spaces. We'll do this with margin and CSS, and then log out. And real quickly, I'm going to right align that, and let's get our grid out again. And we'll move this right there. And then before this portion, well, first we're going to get in there and copy that space between those letters, paste that in here, Control V, and then put edit my barter. All right, so let's hide this again. Oops. And we'll get rid of, let me go to 100% here. We're going to get rid of all the underlines for that portion because I really want edit my barter to stand out, so we'll give it a different color as well. So let me go to yeah, characters, or window character, and take that off, and we'll also make it bold, and we will change the color here to this green except a little bit darker, right around there. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom out just to see what this looks like so far. Oh, I forgot about that portion. All right. All right, looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to delete some of these layers. So with auto select layer on and the move tool, just delete some of these. This one, we'll go ahead and I'm going to make this a group. So I'm going to take this, and this. Hit Control G. We'll just call this button and hide this temporarily. And what happened here? There we go. And basically, I want you know, each of the matches when it comes to the barters, I want those to kind of stick out a little bit. So I'm going to give the background underneath this navigation area just a very light gray. So I'm going to come down here at the very bottom, and I'm going to take the rectangle tool, and we're going to change the foreground color to something lighter, you know, maybe right around ED for the hex code. We'll hit OK, and I'm going to hold Alt and just left click and drag, and just down here around that size. All right, and then I also want to hit Control Shift N or Command Shift N for a new layer mask. So click that, and this is going to be search bar, I guess. All right, so hit OK, and we'll take the rectangle tool again, except this time the color is going to be pretty dark. So 2A, 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 I think that'll work well. And then just above this area, we'll hold the Alt key and then just drag to the right, roughly around that size. Okay? Hit Control H twice if you have those bounding box views. So up here is going to be the city, state, a area where they can, a checkbox where they can specify ignore the location, and then a button that says update results. So let's go ahead and design for that real quick. I'm going to zoom up here. All right, the width of it in terms of the grid is not going to be too important, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to make the color white here. Wait, I hope that doesn't change that. First, I'm just going to take the rounded rectangle tool. 7 should be okay for the border radius. And just right around here, I'm going to hold Alt and just drag out roughly around this size. All right, I'm going to change the foreground color to white. And I'll take the move tool, just move it and adjust it with the up and down arrow keys. And inside of it, make sure you hit Control H twice so that the bounding box is not visible. And then just click in here. We'll left align it. I'm just going to put in a city name. And let's go ahead. And that city will basically, whatever is filled here in this text box will be based on their location from that second step. All right. And then I'm going to take these two, Control Shift D, or right click and duplicate both of those, move them over here. And this is going to be the state. So I'll just put Ohio. And that is going to be a drop-down selection. So over here, I'm just going to take the pen tool real quickly and just put a down icon, holding Shift for each of those three. And if it's a little bit off, you could take the direct selection tool, of course, Control H here, and just select this and just adjust them if you need to make that even. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this over here, make it maybe like a lighter gray color. Again, this isn't exactly what they're going to look like, so this is just kind of, you know, just for the mock-up, just to get an idea. All right, and then we're going to have a checkbox over here to the right, and by default, it's not going to be checked. So just take the regular rectangle tool and hold Alt and just make and Shift and just make a, you know, the size of like an average HTML checkbox. I'm going to make it white. And we're going to make the text here right to the right of it, ignore location. And if that is checked off, then it's going to show them matches that are not based on, you know, city or state. And also, I am going to make it so that they can just specify a state without specifying a city. That way, it gives them some leeway in terms of filtering results. All right, so then over here, we're going to take and just put a button, and we're going to label it update results. So let's see here. We'll get out our button that we hid from earlier, which is right here. We're going to have to scale it down and mess with it a little bit. That's no problem, though. So I'm going to zoom up here to 100%. And so let's see here. What we can do is, let me take that down. First, I'm just going to update it to update results. And then I'm going to take everything, like the whole group, hit Control T, hold Shift, and scale that down roughly right around here. All right, and where's that? Right here, okay. That's a stroke, so the stroke needs adjusted. We're going to put like 1 for the stroke width, or maybe like 1.5. All right, that's better. And I'm going to take the direct selection tool, select on button, Control H, just select the right side, use your arrow key, and kind of just push that over a little bit with the arrow keys. All right, so now let me zoom out, see what we have going so far. All right, so far so good. Okay, so now what we want to do is take it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to lay this out. So I had my wife come up to help me think about this. But so basically, there's going to be 2 sections where it lists out potential matches for barters. The top is going to be 100% matches, and that's going to be people who need what you have and have what you need, essentially. And then beneath it is going to be 50% matches. That's going to be they either have what you want or they either want what you're offering. And the reason, I guess the idea behind that is, you know, if you forgot to leave out something, you know, like you don't want to mow grass, for example, but you might be willing to based on, you know, what they need. So it's just going to list out 2 areas here. So, and if anybody has a better way of coming up with that, you know, let us know. Although just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to be too, you know, crazy about it. So up here, I'm just going to change this text right now to 100% matches, and I'm going to left align it. And I'm going to scale down the size just well, actually, I may just leave it there temporarily for now. And then over here, I'm just going to put like a parentheses and people who need what you have and have what you need. Yeah, I'm going to take this and make the size more like, I'm going to try 28. Take this 100% matches part and make that bold. All right, and then we're going to move it over. And we're going to put an icon there, and it's just going to be like 100% like circle here, ellipse. So just take your ellipse and hold shift, scale it around there, make the color our green color. Control H. All right. And let me get rid of this text down here, so just delete that. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so down here, we're going to have, the way I have, you know, I set it up is each of the potential matches are going to take up 4 columns. So there will be 3 on each row, basically. So we'll take the rectangle tool, and we will simply hold Alt and drag out right around this size. All right. We'll make it white for the foreground color. Control H, get rid of that. Hide the grid. Let's zoom up here to 100%. And we want to give it a stroke. So I'm going to come over here, put in stroke, and make it 1. Take the stroke color right around here, D0, D0, D0. Hit OK and hit OK. All right, so inside of here, we'll go ahead and put there once. The size of that is a little bit too big, so I'm going to make it maybe 20. And then underneath it, we'll put in exercise machine, babysitter, whatever. And let's format that text differently. So we'll make this just light. Make the size, let's try 16 here. All right, see what that looks like. We'll maybe put some space in between those 2 lines so we can take this over here. Try like, now we'll try 24. And let's, that looks pretty good. You can move it in so the padding here is even from left and top. And then let's go to duplicate that. Control Shift D is the shortcut key I have set up for that. We'll put their offers right here. And we'll put down here lawn mowing. I haven't come up with this yet, so I'm just coming up at the top of my head. Let me see here. I have a nasty mind. I'm not going to do it. We'll just lawn mowing, general housework. There we go. Maybe we'll put another one here. How about, what are things people willing to do in exchange for an exercise machine or babysitter? General housework, mow the lawn. Man, why am I stalling? Okay, fine. Tickle feet. That's how demented I am. Okay, so now we'll take Also, real quickly, what I just did there, this is a huge tip. If you ever want to select a layer when you don't have auto select layer, you could just hit your control or command key, hold that down, and then just left click, and that will select it. And when it comes to this text, it's going to be separate text. We'll take this right here just for purposes of just make it auto. There we go. I had to pause, by the way, because my child was like knocking on my door out there. All right, so basically what we want to do down here is create a new layer, Control-Shift-N, and then we'll take the use previous layer to create a clipping mask, and we'll just hit OK. Sorry, I just had to pause again to handle something. All right, so we have this clipping mask here. We'll take the rectangle tool, and right around here, hold Alt and drag out. Control H twice to get rid of that. We'll take the color of this and make it a gray that's slightly darker than the background. So if we get that right there. Actually, I don't know. Do it like that? Yeah. Right there, just very slightly, you know, E2, E2, E2. All right, so over here, we're just going to put a button. Let me go ahead and take this text and this text. Actually, let me just take the whole button group, Control-Shift-D, deselect auto select layer, and just bring it over here. And we're going to put in contact this person. Now, if you wanted to, you could put in, oh, I shouldn't be lazy. I'll put a custom icon over here real quick, but let's extend the width of this to 100% just to make it easy. So let's get the, yeah. All right, so Control H, take the direct selection tool, select the right portion of that, and then just drag it over roughly right around here. Control H right there. And let's take that button copy here. I'm a fan of trying to keep margins even from left, top, right, and bottom. So you can see there's more margin right here, or padding. What we could do is let's take this layer right here, Control D or T, and just drag that down. Take this, Control T, drag it down again, and we'll take our button copy group up here. Right around there. All right, so of course that's incorrect, so let's get rid of these two layers. And you know what, I may just center this text, and in this case we don't need an icon, so let's just keep everything pretty simple. All right, and then one final piece of information will be, let me come over here, posted. Actually, I'll make it all caps here. Posted 15 hours ago, Warren OH. All right, so let's go ahead and take the color. Let's scale that down quite a bit. And we'll put it right around here. All right, so of course we'll use PHP to calculate, you know, when it was posted and all that stuff. I think there's a function that I found that will, you know, if it's a week ago or 10 days ago or 2 years ago, it'll put it in based on the timestamp. All right, so now what we want to do is I want to make everything here its own group. So I'm going to zoom out real quick just so we can get a better view of what's going on. We'll rename this to contact button. All right, so what we want to do, auto select layer is selected. Let's go down here to the bottom. We don't want to select any of these, so we'll select this. Okay, so now if we just take everything and hit Control G, yeah, put it, wait a second, let me see what's going on here. Drag that out. Yeah, we don't want the 100% matches stuff. So where's that at? Just kind of getting this group correct. That looks good. All right, so now we'll just call this offer, I guess. And when you kind of show it, that's the only thing that should be hidden. So let's go ahead. Yeah, the contact button group didn't get put in there. That's no big deal. I'll just delete that. All right, so let's get the grid out. deselect auto select layer, Control Shift D, and to copy that, or duplicate it rather, and then do it one more time. All right, so let's hide this. Pretty cool. Now, of course, these would be all different, information. I'm not going to bother with adjusting that. I'm going to Control T this layer so we can get a little bit more room. We're just about done, but we need to take everything here and then duplicate it. So what we'll do is take auto select layer again, select everything, Control Shift D, or right click and duplicate, and put this down here. And this is going to be 50% matches, so 50. And this is going to be changed to they either have what you need or want what you're offering. Okay. And also I do want to change this text. I don't want it to be sticking out as much as this portion. So we could just right around 7E, 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 and just copy that hex code and do the same thing up here real quick. Paste that in. All right, and then to denote 50%, we'll just come over here, select it, Control Shift N for a new layer, make sure it's a clipping mask, just hit OK. Take the rectangle tool right around there, and we'll change, I think we'll leave the color right around there. Control 1. All right, so there we go. Pretty good. I think that's going to be it. So, once we have this actually coded and, people are using it or not, it'll either only show 1 here sometimes, maybe it'll show 4. So the thing to remember is, we also need to put something in if there's no matches, which is likely going to be the case, when the site starts out. So we'll address those issues as well. All right, and that's basically the design for this main page right here. All right, so I'm not really certain what I'm going to be tackling tomorrow yet. I think we're going to start getting into HTML and CSS actually. So, all right, so if you haven't yet, check out designcourse.com, subscribe here on YouTube. All right, goodbye.